Hi, so if you watched our epoxy resin versus UV resin video, you might have heard me talk about these little keychain things called bezels. I'm going to actually show you how to fill one in, but we do have a very small handful of these at the library that you can use. I do highly recommend buying your own. There are a lot of really cute designs online, and they aren't very expensive for a large amount of what you can get. We're going to use our UV resin, which we got from Sophia and Toffee online. You can also find it on Amazon. Sophia and Toffee is overseas, so it does take a really long time to get it. But what you're going to do is you're just going to very carefully fill in your little shape. You want to be careful how much you put in this, because I did actually overfill another one I was making, so I will show you what happens when you do that. It makes quite a huge mess. You don't need a lot of this, although you will want to kind of make sure you get the whole thing filled up. So just gonna keep adding in resin and spreading it around so that it gets in every nook and cranny. And I can then start adding in any inks I might want and colors. You'll notice I also have it on some tape. That is actually for a purpose. It's to give it a back, because these little keychains actually don't have backs. So you have to make one yourself. I think this little fox one I also legitimately might have just gotten off of Amazon. They're incredibly cute, and I'm obsessed with foxes. They are one of my all-time favorite animals. And I should be wearing gloves with this because I am actually making a wee bit of a mess. And it's always important to protect your skin from the resin so that you don't cause any issues. So I'm going to spread this about a little bit more. And you can do this in layers if you have to. You don't have to add it all in at once. You can always add more if you really need it. So we're just going to get this initial layer in so I can dye it and then put it under the light and show you what happens. So you can use all kinds of pigments with these too. You can use micas and liquid inks like this alcohol ink that I'm getting ready to add. So I'm going to use fuchsia for its body and then white for the tail tip. So I'm just going to put a couple drops in. You don't need a whole lot of this. Boop. See, it kind of just spreads throughout the whole fox. I'll wait and maybe just add one more drop. It also will add in some filling, so you want to be careful how much of this you use. This is already going much better than the first one. I don't have any spillage around my tape, which is what I had the first time I tried to do this. Give it a shake. And I might only need a little bit of the white. Oh, need to poke it. Thought I already opened all these. Boop. And then, boop. So that is what it looks like when you've got the ink in. I am going to have to probably move it a little bit to get to my light source. So we're just gonna scooch a little, move some boxes and keep scooching, and then bring my light over, which is just a little tiny nail lamp that we found on Amazon. And then you just turn it on. You could have a couple times where you're going to have to turn this lamp on and let it cure, which is why I recommend doing an in-between layers of resin if you feel like you need more than one, so that it doesn't take as long to dry. Also, if it's really sunny out, you could stick it outside to dry. The sun will do the exact same thing. It is raining today while I am filming, so there is zero sun, so I'm going to have to use this little nail light. It doesn't stay on very long, so I'm going to have to keep pressing it until I know for sure this layer is dry. And then I can just add more resin and or ink if I feel like it needs it as I go along. So I will going to do some editing magic and pause and stop recording and wait for it to finish, and then I will show you how to completely put everything together and what it looks like when we're done. All right, thanks. So here is the mess up one that I was telling you about. If you notice, there's quite a lot of spillage around the tape. So it's all kind of messy and it doesn't look very good. I also tried to mix colors to get like a two-tone flower, and that also did not work because I put way too much resin in. Instead of just doing like the tiniest dots, I kind of forgot what I was doing and just sort of filled the whole flower, and that caused the whole mess. So this one will probably just get tossed. It's not real usable. You'll notice there's a lot of like bare and not very awesome looking spots. Whereas compared to the fox, that is still kind of drying. The more ink and resin and colors you add, the more it needs time to do its thing. So you'll notice it looks significantly better. The white's a little iffy, but I think that's just really white itself. White tends to be what helps you get that fun alcohol ink effect rather than a color in and of itself for these guys. But you'll notice it looks much better besides where I kind of accidentally dribbled a little bit of ink on the keychain itself. So I'm going to keep letting it dry and then attach everything to it. It's just like normal keychain stuff. So I got my little tassel and this guy and some jewelry tools to kind of close everything together. And I just close it all up and it'll be a cute little keychain. Now I am using also normal shipping tape, which is not the best. It can leave kind of a sticky residue on the back. So I'm still trying to figure out the best way to clean that off. But they do actually make tape specifically for bezels, so that you don't get that gross sticky residue. So I hope you come in and give making a keychain a shot. There are some really fun ones. I think our next resin video is going to be how to use the mold. So that'll be epoxy resin, which is really, really cool. And that's where you can play with adding things in, like glitters. Well, you can add glitter to UV, but like chunks of confetti and beads and dry flowers and all sorts of really cool fun things, as well as get the really, really neat alcohol ink effects. So thanks for watching. Sign up for Creative Studios and come make your own. Bye.